can't believe you haven't watched these shows yet. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shows people are always telling you to watch.
Did you ever watch Battlestar Galactica?
No.
No? Then you were an idiot.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at those TV shows that everyone is always trying to get that one friend who hasn't seen it yet to finally watch.
Tell me, Dexter, how'd you get to be so smart?
Lots of sleep.
Number 10, Stranger Things. If you haven't seen this Netflix original series yet, how? But even if you don't know who Eleven is or just what exactly is the Upside Down, you've probably still heard all about it from your friends. Whether it's the interesting character developments, the 80s retro monsters, the cool paranormal elements, or just the thrill and adventure of it all, this sci-fi horror Spielbergian period piece has everyone talking.
Post-traumatic stuff he's talking about, that stuff is real.
If you want to see if this show is worth all of the hype, their seasons are relatively short and released in one drop, making this show perfect for binge watching.
Will is alive. He's out there somewhere. All we have to do is find him.
Number 9, Orange is the New Black. When you're talking binge-worthy and Netflix originals, the story of Piper Chapman is bound to come up. Years after she participated in a crime, the law finally catches up with her and she's sent off to a minimum security prison.
You don't like the food? It's no problem.
While doing her time, she learns things about herself and life, befriending a colorful cast of fellow inmates along the way.
I'm gonna call you Dandelion, because they're pretty and yellow just like you.
Perhaps what makes this show so talked about is that it's being told from the point of view of the incarcerated, giving the viewer a unique perspective, not to mention the diverse and inclusive cast, humor, and well-crafted characters also seen on the show.
You're a pretty girl, and you're gonna be a target. I know that I was.
You mean like rape?
Oh, rape.
Number 8, Black Mirror. This trippy British sci-fi series often provides a degree of spooky social commentary, and has been seen by many as this era's The Twilight Zone.
Harry,
I don't have any.
you're doing great.
No, don't worry, honestly, it's fine.
Ask if she would like another drink.
Listen, let me get you another drink.
At least, that's probably what all of your friends tell you about Black Mirror.
Actually, you did this to you. Real you is paying for this.
I don't understand.
Unlike most serialized shows, this one tells a complete standalone story with each episode. This means you can drop in on pretty much any episode without feeling lost. This unique style of storytelling also means you don't necessarily have to commit to watching every single episode in order, so the excuse that you don't have time to watch another series right now doesn't fly.
I guess I'm ready. For what?
Number 7, Rick and Morty. There are only two types of people in this world: people who are obsessed with Rick and Morty, and people who have never seen Rick and Morty.
Oh man, Rick! What is this place? It's Dimension 35C, and it's got the perfect climate conditions for a special type of tree, Morty.
If you're part of the latter group, we feel sorry for you, because you're probably super annoyed by hearing about it from all of your obsessed friends. But of course, there's a way to fix that. This show is inspired by the beloved classic film trilogy Back to the Future, and Rick and Morty are basically a darker Doc and Marty who travel through space and time, and have hilariously inappropriate adventures.
That was pure luck! I was not in control of that situation at all!
Number 6, Lost. This show was pretty much the only thing anybody would talk about during its 6-year run, and it's still talked about as a must-watch series long after its conclusion.
Stay with her! I'm not going anywhere.
The concept of strangers having to come together to survive in the aftermath of a plane crash on a supernatural island is definitely an interesting one.
First day on the beach, the day of the crash, the story that I told you. If you're safe, tell me.
You think this is the best time?
Shut up!
But it's the show's trademark cliffhanger endings that will keep you telling yourself just one more episode.
Fala de novo que o meu alarme é falso. Fala de novo que mensagem toda.
Cala a boca, chama ajuda!
You can see why people can't stop suggesting this series, or at least you will once you give in and start watching. Number 5. Mad Men. Everyone was, and frankly still are, mad for Mad Men. With a slew of Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, and several wins in both award shows, you can't really blame them, can you?
We have 6 identical companies making 6 identical products. We can say anything we want.
This period piece about an ad agency in the 60s might just deserve all the hype. Sure, it sounds like dry subject matter, but when put to tape, it couldn't be further from that.
I never thought it would happen to me, but I regained my youth and my happiness.
A world of mergers, backstabbing, affairs, and a darkly complex leading man, it's a gripping series from its earliest episodes straight through to the end. Number 4. The Sopranos. This show might long be over, and its lead actor long gone, but the hype remains, and rightfully so. Airing on HBO, this show was able to go places network TV shows couldn't, loading itself up with family-unfriendly language, violence, and sex. That said, there are many more reasons this show is still so beloved.
But I got a family. And believe it or not, they're better off with me than without me.
The characters, although larger than life, also feel raw and refreshingly real.
This and the mower's a down payment.
It takes a humorous approach to dark subject matter, offering a peek into a world most of us have never seen. Oh, and it also has one of the most controversial series finales of all time. Number 3. Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen at least one episode of Game of Thrones, well, you're pretty much the only one.
He's still one of them.
Based on the best-selling novels, this fantasy show tells the story of several families battling over control of the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. It's full of dragons, sex, and a long-awaited winter, among plenty of other things. More than that, all the betrayal, fight scenes, and eloquent speeches help keep fans hooked.
The past is gone for good. You can sit here mourning its departure, or you can prepare for the future.
Viewers also feel emotionally invested in breakout characters like Tyrion Lannister and Jon Snow, who, spoiler alert, knows nothing. Number 2. The Wire. If you have friends who watch this show, they probably praise it as the greatest show of all time.
You got him, Carl?
I got it.
Look at this shit. Cross your legs.
There are plenty of shows that tell their story from the point of view of law enforcement, and several others that tell their story from the criminal's perspective. But this one does both. It follows the lives and work of drug dealers and users, as well as the police who pursue them.
You really see him shoot the man? You really asking?
The fact that the show's creator was an actual former police reporter lends a unique and authentic look into the world the show represents.
Breaking Bad is the best show you've ever seen, except maybe The Wire.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
What flavor is a Flamin' Hot Cheeto? Hot. I am tasting hot.
There you go. Book's going. We never have to talk about it again, because that's what we do. We don't talk about anything.
What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Everyone, we need to finish this. We have to keep moving and fan out down that thing, front to back. Like we said, cops at a parade. Glenn, you take the back. You got the other walkie. Got it.
Number 1. Breaking Bad. It may just be the only show more hyped than The Wire. This show revolves around a desperate chemistry teacher with terminal cancer who turns into a drug dealer to support his family.
This is not meth.
Though the premise is a bit out there, there's no denying it's a compelling one.
Jesse, you are not good right here. You are not good at all.
Bryan Cranston's performance as Walter White is widely praised, and won him 4 Emmys during its run, just a few of the many other awards the show has won over the years. In other words, maybe you should just watch and get your friends to shut up about it already.
You haven't seen Breaking Bad?
No, I've seen it.
What are you talking about? Breaking Bad. You haven't seen it?
No, I've seen it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.